welcome back. Welcome back to the lifestyle series with Laura. This is lifestyle video number 3. And if you joined me last month, you know that we talked all about personal health and wellness. Like actually the title of last month's video was Practicing Proactive Healthcare. And I would not be surprised if you said, Laura, I am not done with my homework, because I gave you a lot of homework to do. We covered a lot in the last video of this series. You know, we walked away with you headed off to look up all of your insurance benefits, all of your medical benefits, to see what your plans offered, what your deductibles were. So we started off with having you dig in to all of that medical insurance. And if you didn't have medical insurance, checking into, do I have medical insurance available to me? Where can I get medical insurance? And then we asked you to set up your medical digital chart. Set up that MyChart, that online presence that you have access to everywhere, where you can take all your doctors over many years and pull them all in together and have all of that information uploaded, hopefully, into one place, and to set up your digital chart, which would give you the capability to communicate with your healthcare providers. We also challenge you to book all of your maintenance appointments, all of those yearly appointments that we need to make, from physicals to dental to optical to doing all those mammograms, all those yearly appointments to maintain the current health that you have. And then I challenge you to get all of your vaccines, all of your shots, all of your immunizations, to be as proactive about healthcare, to attack the fall season with that flu shot, with those COVID shots, to safeguard you against things that your body could be challenged by. And then I also gave you permission to treat yourself to some new tools. We talked about monitoring daily blood pressure and having a good working scale and having good high quality bariatric vitamins. And last but not least, clean out the medicine cabinets, check the expiration dates, throw away anything that's expired, because those active ingredients in those cough syrups and in those medications, everything has a shelf life. And to treat yourself to some bariatric vitamins, some specific vitamins built just for your body. The point of all that under lifestyle is we can't go do the fun and fabulous things until we show up every day and we feel the best that we can feel to take care of our bodies. So, with that all done, you were going to make up a medication list. You were going to research all of those medications, look up your prescriptions, and hopefully you walked away from video number 2 on solid ground. You understood what you weighed, you understood the medications you took, and if you haven't been to healthcare providers, you have appointments coming down the pipeline, and we have a solid foundation built there. Which leads us to video number 3. Today, we are going to talk about daily routines. We are still in the foundation blocks of lifestyle. We are going to talk about daily routines. And if you're in the bariatric community, you've had surgery, you're getting ready to have surgery, this is like that dead horse that gets beat. Like over and over and over and over. We're going to constantly be having these conversations about daily routines, because it's easy to get in them. It's not easy to get in them. Let's be honest. You get in them, but it's super easy to get out of them, drop them. Oh, it's not important anymore. Oh, I already lost the weight. Oh, do you really need that many grams of protein? Are bariatric vitamins really a thing? Somehow we fall to the wayside. And it's not just bariatric patients, it's every human being on the earth. So today, for video number 3 in the lifestyle series, I promise you, there are fun and exciting things coming down the pipeline, but we're in the trenches right now. We're in the building a solid foundation. So today, we're going to talk about some of these things about daily routines. Some of these things may be new to you. Some of them, you might have been doing them for a while. They're incorporated. It's like brushing your teeth, you know? But I never take for granted. Not everybody has the best dental hygiene. Everybody says it's like making your bed every day or brushing your teeth every day. Not everybody brushes their teeth every day or makes their bed every day. So I'm not going to assume anything in this video. We are going to talk about the basics, And these are things that you're going to hear over and over. I'm 19 years out and I still hear people go back to basics. What are the bariatric basics? I've gained, regained. What do I do now? Nope, still no magic pill out there. Go back to your basics because they're the basic core things. They're not the fun things in life, right? They're not the things that are going to bring you all the joy. These are the staples. We're going to go back to the staples. We're going to go back to the foundation. So if you've been in Connie's world for a long time, like I have, 19 plus years, or if you are new to bariatrics and bariatric care, Connie is known for something called the Gotta Do 'em. So I'm going to dip into the Gotta Do 'em box and pull some of them out, because whether you're talking Gotta Do 'ems with Connie Stapleton or whether you're talking bariatric basics within a practice, a lot of these are staples. It's nothing special. It is the tried and the true that is going to hold true for anybody to have a successful long-term bariatric lifestyle. So we're going to jump in. We're going to talk about Gotta Do 'ems, and we're going to talk about the scale. And then it's going to take us to a pivot that's going to include 3 other topics like priorities, boundaries, and non-negotiables. So let's jump in. Number 1, when we go under the Gotta Do 'ems, let's just start talking about food, right? It's why we're here. It's why you're a member of bariatric care. It is the core piece of struggling with the chronic disease of obesity. What to eat, how much to eat, what not to eat, what's the magical combinations. And we're not going to dig into all of that. We're going to dig into the basics. And when it comes to nutrition and food, are you making healthy choices? Are you eating healthy portions? Are you measuring? Are you planning? And are you tracking? All of those are separate Gotta Do 'ems on the Gotta Do 'em sheet. We're going to put a link to, you can print out Connie's Gotta Do 'em sheet. It's right on her website. If you're in the Bariatric Care Facebook group, it's in the notes. There is a checklist. If this works better for you, print this out. Have it next to you. And at night, before you go to bed, check off the Gotta Do 'ems. Yep, did it. Why? You're only reporting into yourself, but you'll see patterns. If every day you're not checking off those vitamin things, that's when you got to take out the big, bright, shiny light and put it on vitamins, right? The Gotta Do 'ems, the list we're going to talk about today, includes a lot of pieces of daily routines. And once you get them down pat, you won't even think about them. They will be second nature. It's part of your lifestyle. It's the basics. It's the things that once you build into habits and routines, you shouldn't have to think about them anymore. But it's easy to fall off the block. So when it comes to food, are you planning? Do you sit down and say, I'm going to the grocery store. What do I need in my house this week? And it's going to depend on where you are in your journey, how far out you are, whether you're pre-op, post-op, where you are. It is going to be basics. What is my protein sources? Maybe you're in liquid mode and you're still drinking shakes. It's going to depend on where you are, but the basis is protein first. Protein number 1 on every plate, on every consumption, protein first. And then are we making healthy choices? This isn't the day of old school Weight Watchers points where you quit eating once you got the points. You can eat whatever you want to get to the points, but once you hit that point number, you're done for the day. Quality matters. So are you building a shopping list that reflects what you need to be eating? Where are your protein sources? Are you making healthy choices? Are you eliminating sugar from your diet? Are you eating healthy portions? Are you measuring? And for a lot of you that are fresh out from surgery, are you tracking? Are you keeping track of how many grams? It's easy to think we're getting more protein than we actually are. Are you tracking and are you measuring? These are all daily routines. So treat yourself. Do you need a planner? Do you need a tracker? Are there gadgets and things you need in your kitchen to keep you on that track? Do you need a food scale? Are you familiar? Do you need new measuring cups? How do you set yourself up for success? If you're someone like me, I want to take the excitement. I don't love the kitchen. I keep it simple. I rotate certain things and I eat the same things over and over and over. The kitchen is not a fun, exciting place for me. It's where I get my nutrition from and I leave. Do up the dishes and I'm out the door, right? I'm not someone that wants to spend hours cooking, and that's not my cup of tea. That's not my love language. But what is my love language is having the things on hand that I need, eating protein first, getting enough grams of protein in, and making sure I have the right tools in my house for success. And if you're like me and you don't want to think about it, find the basics. Take the time to track and build a meal plan that you can stick to. Have 2 or 3 breakfasts, 2 or 3 lunch, have staples on hand where you can always pull it out and always get it done. For me, when I want something delicious or exciting, I think about it, I plan it, but for daily in and out consumption, I keep to the basics. Next up, water. Are you drinking your water? It is one of the most bountiful things you can do for your body, for cell regeneration, for all of the things. If you have to play the tricks, if you don't love water, play the tricks, put the drops in it, put the flavoring in it, do all of the things, but your daily water consumption, this should be as important as your cell phone. It goes with me everywhere. It goes in the car. I'm driving to my dad's, fill up your water bottle. I'm going to town to the grocery store, fill up your water bottle. This is a staple on my body. Get something big enough that it challenges you to get it in and fill it and carry it with you everywhere you go. It's like, nobody is rarely caught without their cell phone right there and nearby. Don't be caught without your water. Take it with you everywhere you go. Get it in. And if you struggle, play games. Know how many ounces this is, and I'm going to get this in before 12 o'clock. I'm going to get it in before 3 o'clock. I'm going to get it in. Get your water in. And of course, next up, I am never not going to tell you, take your vitamins. I vitamin prep every single week. On Sundays, I set up 7 little containers and I throw them in a basket. And every morning when I get up, the basket's right next to the coffee pot. I pull one out. I take my vitamin D. I take my multivitamin, and then I lay out my calcium chews. I set myself up so I don't really have to think about it. I prep it on Sunday, and then I'm off to the races the rest of the week. It's a non-negotiable for me. Those vitamins are so important to supplement your nutrition. Next up, part of the gotta do's is movement. Do you do intentional movement for 30 minutes every day? Do you walk? Do you run? Do you swim? Do you bike? Do you hike? How do you get it in? And it doesn't have to be, I'm going to go to the gym every single day for 30 minutes and it becomes a time factor. I don't have time to drive to the gym, come home from the gym. It's going outside, putting on tennis shoes and walking around your neighborhood. It is that simple. It is that easy and it is that simple. Again, I'm always going to go back to the treat yourself. It's your lifestyle. Apple Watches, count your steps. How are you measuring that 30 minutes? Maybe it is buying a Peloton bike. Maybe it is buying a brand new tennis shoes. Maybe it is joining a running group because you want to be more social. You can take that movement and wrap it into other categories in your life. You can make it a social event, meeting your girlfriend to go take a fun aerobics class, go for a fun hike on the weekends, going for a fun bike ride, going to the beach, getting in the water, swimming. You can make it a social event, but you also can make it almost like a meditation or a self-development because you can put a podcast in your ears and you can listen to a lecture, a class. You can take a class and listen to lectures as you're walking for 30 minutes every day. You can incorporate it into spirituality. You can incorporate it into however you want, but your feet are moving. And I think of it more as mind therapy than necessarily movement for my body. It is a release. It relieves stress. It relieves anxiety. It pushes endorphins through your body, but daily movement. 3 more things I want to talk about daily routine. Next one is community check-ins. It is critically important. Every day, are you checking in with some type of community? I think after COVID and after so many changes to our lifestyles, so to speak, that we changed how we work in community. A lot of communities went online. A lot of communities no longer existed. And have we built those structures back? Number 1 for me every morning, I check into Berry Aftercare. Every single morning, I click the like button on the daily affirmation. I watch Connie's little daily tip. I check into Berry Aftercare. Every week, I check in on Monday and give up some accountability. What am I going to be accountable for this week? What am I going to accomplish and feel good about this week? I check into my bariatric community, not online, on my social media, and in Berry Aftercare. I show up. I look around. Did anybody post something? Can I support? I read everybody's comments. Is there something I can comment? I consciously choose to start my day inside Berry Aftercare. That's number 1. Next up on community, family. Family is a big priority in life for me, especially in this season. I call my dad every single morning. Every morning at 9:30, I call him and we have a chit chat. It's a priority for me. It is a daily routine for me. It's not optional. It's not negotiable. It's a daily routine. And then in corporate, think about your friendships. We're talking about lifestyle. This is not just about bariatric surgery. This is about your lifestyle. If friendships are important, do you make time to check in? Whether it's a text message like, hey girl, thinking of you, you drop a cute note in the card. It is your community. It is the people that circles around you. It is the people you care about. It could be an email, a text message, a phone call, preferably a phone call, but it could be a note in the mail. Do you schedule time every day to touch community, the people you love, interact with the circle that supports you on your life journey? That is a huge important piece to lifestyle, and I consider that a daily gotta do 'em. For me personally, I love a good morning affirmation. If you don't do it with Connie in the morning, there's a lot of books out there. I have one that literally sits right next to my bed. When I wake up in the morning, it is one of the first things I do. Before social media, before I open Facebook, before I'm online, I set the tone for the day. Every day we have a choice when we wake up. That's why these are daily routines. These are the gotta do-ums. We have a 50-50 chance your feet hit the floor. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a challenging day. Which one are you choosing? How are you setting the tones for the day? Are you starting off on the right side or the wrong side? And last but not least, I want to talk about sleep. Sleep is so critical and it is the thing we all are willing to sacrifice. You got to get things done. It's midnight. Keep going. Maybe your mind's racing. You don't shut down early enough. You start watching a movie at 10 o'clock at night. Think I'm going to watch 10 minutes and you watch the whole thing. Next, you know, it's 12:30 in the morning. And now you're already tired before you even think about it. You get into bed. Your mind is racing. It's going. You can't simmer it down. You sleep restlessly. We need to stop that. We need to jam on the brakes. Your body needs that rebuild time. Your cells need it. Your mind needs it. You need to rest. Your body needs to rebuild itself, get the energy stores back up, process the food that we've had through the day, and be ready to hit that floor running for you. You deserve a rest period. You have earned a rest period. Sleep is not something that you should be stealing from to do other things. We need to make sleep a priority in our life. Now, the last thing I want to talk about routines, and it may be daily for you. I am not a daily girl, and this is your decision. This is your lifestyle and your decision. I want to talk about the scale, and I want you to think about when and why. 2 questions. When do I weigh on the scale? When do I weigh in? And why am I doing it? Now, if you're fresh out of bariatric surgery, it's probably a daily thing. It's probably a daily thing, and it can be very exciting. It can be happy. It can be joyful. It can be overwhelming happiness. It can be, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm finally feeling better. Look, this is working. For the first time in my life, weight loss is working. Look at this flying off my body. But it also can be a plateau you've hit. And you're still within your first year and you think, is it done? Is it over? Oh my God, why am I not losing weight? What is happening? Oh my gosh, I've gained 2 pounds. What is happening? My surgery's not working. The scale can be celebratory or it can be doomsday for you. It's all going to depend on how are you using it, when and why are you using it. For me, the scale is a measurement. It is data. It is your gravitational pull on the earth. I will say that until the end of time. It is not good and bad. It is not success and failure. It is your gravitational pull on the earth. And it can change on a daily basis constantly, right? It can constantly. In one day, you could measure your weight 3 different times in 3 different numbers. So you don't take daily scales as Bible. You just can't do it. You cannot do it. It is important to check in. It is important to measure. It is important to collect data for knowledge and science and resource. It does not determine your value and your worth. Now, when you're frustrated, do not put that scale away and not come back to it. Don't treat it like bad news. Don't treat it like I can't get on it, because that's how 2 pounds becomes 3 pounds, becomes 5 pounds, and that's how the regain game happens. But that scale needs to be used in a healthy way. It needs to be used in a healthy way. I, at 19 years post-op, use it once a week. Once a week. Every Monday I weigh in. and it fluctuates like I can't even tell you. Menopause has not been the most delightful season of life, but it's all over the place. But I measure, I weigh in, I document, and I move on. But I watch patterns. Your weight is data. Data tells stories. So treat yourself to a scale. You want to have a good scale, an accurate scale, something you feel confident in, but it is a staple. I'm sitting here all these years out and it is still a staple. It does not dictate. It does not run my life, but it is, I got to do them. Once a week, I got to do it. I got to check in. Now, these are your basics, friends. We have dug in and talk about the basics of daily routines. These are the gotta do'ems in the land of Connie Stapleton. These are a lot of different names. These are your basics maybe on your surgical outline, but they will never change from here to eternity. These are always going to be critical pieces in health and wellness. And that's what this is about. This is a lifestyle. You chose to get healthy so you could live a life of health and wellness. These are the basics. But these also should support your priorities, being healthy and being happy. There's nothing on this list that I just gave you that is selfish. This is going to help you show up as a better self, as a better wife, as a better mother, a better daughter, a better family member. You want these staples for everyone in your life. You would encourage anyone and support anyone that said, I would love to go do that with you, but first I need to get my walk in. We don't try to change their mind. We don't try to dissuade them. We want to support them and say, you go get your walk done and I'll meet you back. These are things it's okay to be selfish on, because when you take care of you, you can take care of others. Now, to keep these routines in your life, to establish them and keep them, you also have to practice 3 other things. And I'm going to touch them this week. Not go deep into them. I'm just going to touch on them in this episode. You need to establish priorities, boundaries, and you need to make them non-negotiable. Are you clear on your priorities right now in life? If I said list your top 5 priorities, top 3 priorities, can you tell me them right now? Or do you just ramble? Everything is this and this and this. My number 1 priority in life right now is my kids. If your kid comes to you and says, Mom, are you coming to my baseball game? I can't tonight, honey. I've got to weed the garden. Is that your number 1 priority in your life? Your priorities that come out of your mouth should reflect your to-do list. It should reflect your life in some way, shape, or form. So I'm going to challenge you, because I always say my number 1 priority is my health and wellness. And it is true. If I am not healthy, if I am not well, how can I take care of parents? How can I take care of the pug? How can I do all the things? How can I be a great employee? How can I be a person in the bariatric community? How can you do those things if you don't hold tight to your priorities? And part of my biggest priorities with health and wellness is all the routines that I shared with you today. The best way I can take care of me is by being of sound mind and sound body, strong, healthy, eating the right foods, drinking my water, taking my vitamins, moving my body. All of those things allow me to be a better daughter, to be a better mom to my dog, right? To be all of those things. But my number 1 priority is my health and wellness. And then it is taking care of my pug. And then it is taking care of my parents. You line up those priorities, and does your daily routine support those priorities? Are you clear on your priorities? What are your top 3? I'm going to challenge you today. Do those top 3 reflect in your daily routines, in your to-do list? And do you struggle with boundaries? At another point, we will probably go deep dive into boundaries, but those boundaries is what you do to protect those daily routines. How do you establish those boundaries and make them non-negotiable, not only to others, but to yourself? I'm too tired. I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like prepping my vitamins. Who cares if I miss a day? How do you protect them and make them non-negotiable, not only to yourself and to others? So I gave you a lot of things. I rambled off, but those are my top habits and routines. What is a lifestyle if you don't have a solid foundation? How can you go do the wonderful trips and the wonderful vacations and work on all the fun and exciting and happy, joyful things if you don't feel good? If you're not well in your body? So today's homework, number 1, print out that list of gotta do'ems for Connie. If you're not familiar with it, check it. Are you currently daily doing these routines? Are those things I line listed for you? The movement, the nutrition, the water, the vitamins, the sleep, the affirmations, the digging into community. Are those daily practices for you? Ask yourself, am I doing them? Can I find them on my schedule? Am I daily touching base in doing these things? When I wake up in the morning and I'm grabbing that cup of coffee, if you're drinking coffee, am I looking in the refrigerator saying, what am I having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Are you meal planning on Sundays? Be honest with yourself. And then pick out one that you don't practice and start today. Maybe you've fallen off the vitamin kick. Get in the cupboard, dig them out, get them out, set them on the counter. Do you need to get if the list is overwhelming, you always start with one. Are you not moving your body? Are you not getting 10,000 steps in a day? Start with, I'm going to move my body 10 minutes today. I'm going to walk 1 mile today. I'm going to walk to the corner and back today. And then tomorrow again. And the next day again. And I'm going to do it at the same time every day. I'm building a habit and routine. Put it on your accountability list inside of Barry Aftercare and let us help you build that one habit, one a week. You start with one and then you stack them up and then you just keep repeating it. And repetition will take time, friends. And you're not going to be perfect at all of them all the time, but what is perfect is never giving up and digging in and trying and showing up. Nobody else is going to benefit technically from all of these things I'm talking about. Your kids are going to be okay if you don't drink enough ounces of water, right? Your husband is not going to be mad if you did not take 10,000 steps and you took 9. You just keep working on them one at a time, and you keep building them. This is the foundation of your lifestyle. These are the non-negotiables. This is what you build your boundaries on. These are the daily tasks that are going to lead you to a long-term, healthy, happy, joyful lifestyle. All right, friends, as always, you have a to-do list. You have homework. We give you homework. It is a true story. I want you to examine those daily routines. I promise in the future monthly episodes, we're going to explore much more exciting things, but right now it's like everything else. You can't decorate the house until you build the basement and build the foundation. And a lot of us take for granted, I'm far beyond this. You're never too far beyond this. I am 19 years out and I still work on my daily habits and routines. I'm still challenged. Sometimes I fall off the fence. Life gets busy. I'm too busy to go for a walk today. I'm not. That's 30 minutes. That is my time. I need to find that time and I need to make it a priority and I need to put it on my to-do list. All right, everyone, that is it for episode number 3. If you've missed 1 and 2, go find them, go check them out. They are in the archives. The very first episode, I defined lifestyle, told you what I thought it meant, all the things that it includes. So we really dug into what does lifestyle really truly mean, especially in a Barry Aftercare world. Episode number 2 was big. It was medical. It was all about honoring your body, taking care of your body, and owning your health care. That to-do list, that homework was a lot. And if you're still in it, keep plugging away. Get that prescription list done. Get that MyChart set up. Don't give up on that homework. But right now, we're talking about what do you do every single day. And once you get them down to science, they aren't even going to be things you have to think about anymore. It's going to give you space and time for the things that bring you pure joy. All right, friends, that is it for this month. Enjoy the series. I look forward to bringing another fun episode to you next month. Take care.